know I'm about to piss some people off today. Someone's got to say it, and it wouldn't be the first time, so. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've only done one other video like this let's chat type of format, and I was telling you guys, content creators, I think you should check out in that video. I'm doing another one, and you guys will let me know if you like these type of videos, and we'll keep doing it in the future on things that you guys want me to talk about. But today I am giving some advice, you could say, some tough love about the beauty industry and being a beauty creator and just, you know, that whole lifestyle. So I said on Instagram and Twitter to ask me your questions, and from the gist of the questions I was getting, seems like you guys have a lot of questions on creating content, on the business side of the industry, and then on the networking and making friends and stuff like that. So those are the three categories that this video is going to flow in. Starting out with creating content, it seemed like the major questions you guys had as far as creating content is how to get started and how to sustain it once you do start. I tell everyone when they say, you know, like, how do I start being a content creator, that you just do. You get on the website that you want to do it on, you create your account, and you start posting. The worst thing that could happen is that you don't like it. That's literally the worst thing that could happen, is that you start doing it and you realize that you do not like it, or it's not what you thought it was. Because I feel like a lot of people think that the whole, you know, influencer lifestyle and creator stuff is like a fast way to easy money and success, and it's not. It's really not. And once you start doing it, you realize, like, oh wow, a lot actually goes into this, you know, from the editing to the filming to always thinking of new things to post. A lot goes into it. So you want to at least just start it and see if it's something that you like, because you might realize that you don't actually like doing it. People wonder about, you know, like, what do they use to start? I do have a video where I listed more affordable options as far as cameras and stuff like that. Someone said, you know, do you need a camera when you're starting out? When I first started out, made sure I had a camera just because I saw the quality of that time, because it does progress as time goes on, and just knowing myself, like, that's just the quality that I knew I wanted. But nowadays, you know, like iPhones, and I'm assuming Androids, film in like 4K. You can certainly use your phone to start filming. Any vlog that you see on my channel was done on an iPhone, so you can just, you know, pull out your phone and start using that as a way to record. So do you need a camera? No, you don't, but I get it if you feel like you have to have one. But other than that, you know, you just need like a window and your phone, and you can start out there. It doesn't have to be the best of lighting or the best of this just because you're new to this. And again, you don't want to invest thousands of dollars into equipment just to realize that you don't like this, or this isn't something that you can maintain with the rest of the stuff that you got going on in life, whether that's school, you know, you're raising a family, you've got work, stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you like it. So just do something, throw it up there, not just, you know, and figure out if you like it. Now you've determined that you like it. Now it's time to sustain it. Okay, it's not easy. It really is not easy. October will make it 4 years since I've been doing this, and I would be lying to you if I said that I wasn't at a point right now where I'm just like, what am I going to film today? It's very hard always thinking, you know, like, what can I do to keep my content fresh so I don't turn into one of those creators that someone's saying, you know, you do the same thing like every time. I'm tired of the mukbangs. I'm tired of the get readies with me. I'm tired of the challenges. And you know, I give credit to the people who have been on here for 10 years, because that's a lot of content that you've been creating there, and that takes a lot of thinking and creativity to, especially the ones who are still doing it and are still, you know, still have great engagements, are still doing good, because that means that they've been able to create content that people want to keep enjoying for 10 plus years. Some things, you know, if I had the answer on how easy it is to always be thinking of new things, I wouldn't be going through the stress that I go through at least once a month when I'm trying to plan for that month what I'm going to film. But some things I've picked up on, especially here in this beauty area of YouTube, is obviously new products. Those are always going to be an easy way of, you know, having new content. Now, that is also why so many people probably have, you know, makeup collections the size of Sephora. yeah, you want to, you know, stay on top of new products and stuff like that, but also, you know, like give yourself a monthly budget or something like that. Like, this is how much I'm going to spend on makeup a month. If you are that person who does, you know, reviews and you want to stay on top of new releases, because let's keep it about new releases equals views. So new releases, that is always some great content there. Monthly type videos, you know, monthly favorites, monthly empties, what I used up, you know, those type of videos that you can do monthly. Like I was thinking of doing that, trend mood, what I saw it and what I buy it type videos. I know people who do those what I buy it and anti-haul videos monthly. Not only is it something, you know, like, okay, at least I'll have that video every month, but your audience will also start enjoying those. You know, like Jen Loves Reviews has her makeup minutes weekly series there. Series alone are a good way of always creating content. You know, I've got my foundation series, so I've always got that type of thing there. Series, monthly type of videos, new releases, actual makeup tutorials. I know people think that people don't still watch makeup tutorials, but they do if they like you, which we'll get into. But makeup tutorials. And another thing that was kind of a question that people were getting is, you know, branching off. Now, you might start your channel when you're 16, 17, and you love makeup and you love this. But what happens, you know, like 5 years later when you're like, okay, is this all that I can talk about though? I feel like some people fear trying other things on their platforms just because they're like, okay, I've built this audience that is following me because of makeup, but now I want to do fashion, or now I want to do cooking, and I feel like if I incorporate that, you know, I'll lose some of my following. So not only when you're starting out should you make sure that you like this, but as time goes on, you should always make sure you're uploading content that you actually like. If you don't feel like doing makeup anymore, you don't feel like doing makeup anymore. And the more you try to force it, the more it's going to show, and the more your content's gonna get stagnant, and so will your audience and your growth. Again, just like what I said with starting your channel, what's the worst that can happen if you start creating content that you actually like doing? So you were a beauty creator and you want to start doing some cooking videos, you throw up cooking videos and people aren't watching it, like your beauty content, or, you know, it's not performing as well. Did you enjoy doing it? Okay, I would rather you just enjoy doing it and you attract the people who do want to watch that than you forcing yourself to, you know, create this tutorial that you can tell was half-assed, because you can tell, and it's not going to help you and it's not going to help the people that you're watching. And I honestly feel like it's harder to make those transitions when you're doing things that are so opposite. You know, you started out as a beauty channel and now you want to switch to gaming, which, mind you, you can still do. You know, James Charles is a beauty channel. However, I saw the other day someone retweeted his, you know, like, James Charles does Minecraft. That's gaming, and I can assure you people still watched it who signed up on his channel for beauty. But not everyone is James Charles, so I feel like that's where it might be the hardest to get your audience to transition, when you're going from two extremes. But, you know, if you were already doing makeup and you want to start doing fashion, or you want to start doing, you know, lifestyle beauty type stuff, it's usually pretty easy to start incorporating that into your feed. And not only does that allow you to, you know, have more range with the content that you're creating, but you'll start bringing in more people from different places. So yeah, maybe they won't watch every makeup video that you post, but, you know, you got a fashion post, they'll be here. You know, you've got this, you've got that. So it really just helps you in the long run when you brought in what it is that you cover. And it's also a way for you to not get stagnant. But as far as content creating, and, you know, my biggest tip there that kind of starts flowing into the business side of it is to have the right priorities. I see this so much and I always want to say something, but, you know, you start speaking up and then you're the bad guy because you're saying things that people don't want to hear, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel like your main priority as a content creator is your audience, and making sure your audience likes you. I feel a lot of people jump into content creating and they're worrying about, you know, how do I get these followers? Because I want this PR, because I want this sponsorship, and I want this. They're focusing on how to get, you know, the business side and the perks that come with this whole lifestyle instead of the people who will help them get it. And I've said this before, once you build that audience that really messes with you, all right, we're trying to keep this PG here, but y'all know what I want to say. When you get an audience that really messes with you, everything else that you're trying so hard to get comes to you, okay? Now, when it comes to like PR and sponsorships and stuff like that, people are like, you know, who do I need to reach out to? How do I, you know, do I tag them? Do I do this? Do I do that? Let's keep it a buck. I know brands like to say this whole, you know, follower count doesn't matter. It does. Okay, someone has to say it, so I'm gonna say it. It does. And again, take it from someone who not only sits on this side as a creator here, but y'all know my degree was in PR, and I did PR for sports and fashion. Not so much makeup, but it really all worked the same, so I know what it is that they're looking for. It really does matter to them. Maybe some indie brands might, you know, be a little bit more open to working and reaching out to smaller creators, but you also have to be careful with that, because they're more open to working with smaller creators because they know some smaller creators don't know any better with the things that they're willing to accept, because they, you know, want PR so bad, or they want the sponsorships or stuff like that. So they would say yes to terms that they know other people who have been doing this for a while wouldn't do. So there's also that. But I've seen a lot, and I know of this one indie brand that is always tweeting about how, you know, they love smaller influencers and they love reaching out to them and they work with anybody. But yet, whenever there's a big launch from them and you're looking at who gets PR, it's people who are, you know, mid-range influencers and up. Let's say like 50,000 and up there. And for some, it's just a good look to say that, you know, they like doing it. When you look at who they're reposting on their pages, who they are sending stuff to, who they are sponsoring, it's people who typically have a larger following there. Now, to be fair, can you blame them for that? That's kind of the whole point of PR. The whole point is, you know, putting the product in front of people who are going to make a return for you as a brand. So that's why you might be saying, well, why do they keep reposting this little 3-year-old boy who doesn't know how to blend eyeshadow? I see stuff like this all the time. It's not doing you any favors, okay, if you're someone who's constantly tweeting stuff out like that. But I see tweets like that all the time about, you know, these brands love, you know, working with and promoting people with mediocre, yes, y'all actually use those words, mediocre, you know, makeup skills, and who aren't that talented and who aren't doing this and who aren't doing that. My love, they don't care about talent. They really don't. When you look at most industries, a lot of them really don't care about talent. You see all these people who can sing really well and who can do all of this, and they're not signed, they're not this, because they don't care about any of that. They care because that little 3-year-old boy has 500,000 followers. So you put your products in his hands, it's gonna be seen. So all of that to say, these people can post what they want, whenever they want to, because they have created audiences that mess with them hard, and that's what your main priority should be. I feel like a lot of people know that the more followers you have, the more the deals and the free stuff come to you, but they're just focusing on the followers. And what is 2 million followers next to your name going to do if you only average like 500 likes a picture? Smart brands pay attention to stuff like that. You know, you can buy the followers, you can sub the followers all you want to, but if that engagement ain't messing right, some of these brands still won't be checking for you. So what you should be prioritizing, is that a word? It's gonna be one today, is making sure that the people who follow you like your posts, they retweet your stuff, and it all comes back to how it helps you. Because when your audience, you know, likes your videos before they even watch the videos, they're helping you. They're helping other people find you, because the more likes you have, that's the more engagement that you have. And the more engagement that you have, the more these platforms push you to other people, because they're like, oh, this is someone that people like watching. And if they like watching them and they have ads in their videos, let's talk here on YouTube, they have ads in their videos, that's more money for us. So let's go ahead and push this person here. They've got about, you know, 30,000 likes. So let's recommend them to some people who might not have been watching them. So when they like your videos, when they comment on that stuff, again, that is them helping you not only, you know, maintain good engagement with the people you already have, but helping other people find you as well. When they engage with you and it's real engagement, these brands are going to notice that and they are going to come to you. And when these brands are coming to you and you've got good engagement and you can prove that, you know, I can post this link and it'll get you $30,000 in sales, then you can start charging what it is that you want to charge. And I just don't understand why it's a hard concept for some people to understand. What I really need y'all to stop doing is attacking the people who actually do engage with you with these rants every other week about the people who don't. Because let's think about what it is that you're actually doing here. You film a rant, or you tweet, or you Insta story a rant about how, you know, you're not where you think you should be, you're not getting the engagement or the views that you think you should be, you're not getting this, you wanted to be here but you're not, and you upload it to your platform. Someone sees that you've uploaded, you've tweeted, you've done this, whatever, and they now go to engage with whatever it is that you just posted. And when they open it, it's you ranting about how people don't look at your stuff and people aren't following you and people aren't engaging with you. And I want y'all to really think about how that sounds, because the person who's watching or reading what it is that you said is someone who's engaging with you. It's crazy to me, because they're watching and they're being, you know, lashed out at for doing what it is that you're saying people aren't doing. Because the people who aren't doing it aren't going to see what it is that you're saying, because they're not checking for you. They might be following you, but you know, they don't care about clicking on your Instagram story. They don't click on your videos when you upload them. Maybe they follow you on Twitter, but they might just scroll past your timeline. The people who you're upset, or they just don't follow you, they don't know you. So the people that you're upset because they're not engaging with you are not going to see the rant that you're going on right now. The people who do want to engage with you and who do want to support whatever type of stuff it is that you're putting out there now have to listen to you complain about people who don't even know that you're complaining about them, because they're never going to see it because they don't click on your stuff. So instead of taking this out on the people who actually do want to engage with you, you could use that energy to create content for the people who are going to engage with your stuff. And a lot of the times the people that are saying this are the people who, you know, they're not posting things that the people who do engage with them want to see. I'll watch people say, you know, can you do more of these type of videos, a little less of these type of videos? You do this, like, I mean, there's always gonna be someone who's nitpicky and, you know, it's like, okay, you do too many, you know, hair videos for me. But if a majority of your comments are saying like, this is getting pretty stale, sis, like you do this video, like literally all your videos are hair videos and you keep doing it, like what do you think is going to happen there? Switch it up a little bit, give them something else to what I literally watch people ask their audience, what do you guys want to see, and then never do it and just continue doing what it is that they want to do. And yes, I know I said, you know, you should be happy with the content that you're putting out, but you should also be listening to the people that follow you, and you should be putting out content with the people who follow you in mind, because they're the ones who are engaging with your stuff. Now, again, this is more of like a tough love type of video, so y'all need to hear it, that it's just, no one wants to hear that once a week, all right? Yes, we all have frustrations, we all want to, you know, let our feelings out there, but some people do it more than they put out content, and who wants to follow that at that point? If you complain more about not getting what you think you deserve or what you think you're owed more than you put out content, like what makes you think that this is going to be a lasting relationship here? Now let's skedaddle on over to the whole, you know, business side of the industry. The main questions I got were about PR and sponsorships. Now, I did say that the PR can come to you when you've got the followers, when you've got the engagement. However, you can go to the PR. There are ways that you guys can reach out to brands, but let's quickly go over the ways that you should stop trying to reach out to brands. I need y'all, I am asking y'all to please stop commenting on business owners' personal posts promoting yourself, all right? I follow Norvina from Anastasia Beverly Hills on Twitter, and she could tweet out, you know, I'm so sad. My dog just died. And within 10 minutes, she's got like 200 comments of people saying stuff like, oh wow, that's crazy. But here's this eyeshadow look that I did using the Soft Glam palette though. I'd love for you to see it. Like, where is the self-awareness here of what you're saying? Like, nothing seems off to you about the fact that you're promoting yourself on a tweet of someone who's clearly sad right now. You know, it could be that she's sad. It could be the business owner, you know, I just had a baby. Oh wow, show your baby my cut crease here. They gonna love it. Like, that it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't look right. And it's rude. Like, etiquette is a thing here. I'm gonna need some people to find it, okay? And that's in the other way of you to not be trying to reach out to brands and, you know, getting them to notice you and send you PR, is commenting on other people's stuff when they interact with brands. Going back to Anastasia Beverly Hills, I know a lot of people tweeted out, you know, that they made the Anastasia PR list, or, you know, they posted a picture of the PR once they received it. And a lot of people have this habit of commenting on that person's tweet, or if a brand, you know, reposts someone else or something like that, and saying, oh wow, I would love to, you know, be a part of the whatever family. I would love to be noticed by whoever. I would love to be receiving this type of stuff. And again, it's just rude. It goes back to the whole, you know, commenting on someone's video like, hey, I make videos too, come check it out, you know, sub for sub, stuff like this. It's just rude. And besides the fact that creators all the time say that they don't like it because they don't appreciate it, because it's like you walking into McDonald's and saying, hey, Burger King is having 2-for-1 Whoppers for this amount of days, come check it out. You wouldn't do that because you're in McDonald's. So people at McDonald's are going to expect you to promote McDonald's. If you're on someone else's channel, you're on someone else's content, it's about that person. It's not about your content. There are ways for you to promote yourself. I always see threads, you know, saying, hey, if you're a Black influencer, if you're an LGBT influencer, if you're a male influencer, if you're this or that type of influencer, drop your posts or your pictures down below. I know brands that do that as well. That is a way for you to get noticed by brands. Entering some of these contests like the Benefit Brow Search, the NYX Face Awards, that is a way for you to put yourself out there and be noticed by brands, to be noticed by other people. Stop doing it at someone else's expense. It's just rude, okay? Now, the ways that you can reach out to brands is by, you know, emailing some of these brand employees if they have their information out there. Some people do, some do not. The whole, you know, going through hoops to find people's information might not be the best way, because their information might not be that easily available for a reason, because they don't want, you know, 18,000 people emailing them like, hey, here's my stuff, here's whatever, blah, blah, blah. But one of the easiest ways to reach out to some of these brands is just by applying for it. A lot of these, you know, social media based, or not even social media based, but just some of these brands that heavily rely on influencer marketing, you know, they're always sponsoring people, they're always sending out PR. You know, a brand like Lancome might send out PR every couple months. Company like ColourPop that releases something every other day is sending out PR every other week. So some of these websites, some of these companies on their websites have where you can apply for PR. So you scroll to the bottom of their website and they'll usually have something like a, you know, influencer marketing, influencer, you know, become part of our social media fam, stuff like that. At the bottom of the website, go down there, scroll down and see if they have some type of form. The ones that do have a form, they're all usually the same exact form. I'm assuming they use some type of program that they can just, you know, put it on their website. But I know like Pixie has something like that where you can apply for PR. Does Urban Decay have one? I've seen a list of some of the brands that have it, but, you know, just go to some of these, like I know Time Los Angeles has something where you can like apply for PR. Go to some of these websites of these companies that rely heavily on influencers, and a lot of them have applications for you to put in your information and, you know, become part of their PR family there. And that's not just makeup. Like I think it's what, YMI Jeans has something like that as well. So that's a very easy way for you to reach out to get PR there. And if you are emailing people directly, make sure it's, you know, like professional, not just like, I love your stuff, you know, I'd love to try it out and I'd love to you know, promote your product. If you are reaching out to a brand, make sure it's, you know, professional. Make sure you include your engagement rates on your platforms. Make sure you include your platforms in the email. Examples of you using the brand's products can be put in the email, because that's another thing. I think I see people trying to reach out to brands that haven't actually used that brand's products. Like, again, this is the whole point of PR. They want their products on you or somehow in your content so that they can go back and push that. That's what they're looking for. Okay, now onto the side that no one talks about, the money in the industry, how you make the money, what type of money you can make, what you should be asking for, how you ask for it. And it's just always weird to me when people get like offended at what some of these people are charging or what some of these brands are willing to pay. And sometimes I just chalk it up to, it's just people not knowing that literally none of this is new. None of how this industry works is new, okay? It's just before influencers, you know, who they were doing all this stuff, all the PR, the being paid to promote the brand trips, they were using celebrities, okay? They were using publications like Allure, 17 magazine. That's who they were sending on the trips. That's who they were paying. But now they have a much cheaper option with influencers, and an option that will most likely bring them a better return. That's kind of why you see some of these celebrities who are doing, you know, BoxyCharm ads, and they're creating YouTube channels, because whoever it is that's managing them is telling them, like, this is what you need to get on if you want to keep making this type of money, because these are the channels that are making these brands the most money by, you know, people watching YouTube videos and being on Instagram. Like, those are the platforms that, you know, are bringing them the most bang for their buck there when they're paying people for it. So that's why you see celebrities moving towards stuff like that. So, you know, you've got Jennifer Aniston. Cool, you know, here comes Maybelline. They can pay her $2 million to promote their eyeshadow palette. And it's like, no shade to Jennifer Aniston, but how much can she teach you about, you know, how a palette works? Or, you know, you're just gonna be jumping up to go buy it because Jennifer Aniston put it on her Instagram account. Now they've paid you $2 million to promote it, and you might bring them back $75,000 in sales, and then you can pay Nikki Tutorials $20,000. $20,000 is a lot of money, and it's a price that, you know, people would be like, why would an influencer think that they deserve $20,000? But they pay her $20,000, and it's Nikki Tutorials, okay? She draws a whole painting on her face with the eyeshadow palette. Now it's sold out in 5 minutes, and they just made a return of $2 million there after paying her for $20,000 to do that here. You see why some of these brands are leaning towards influencers and why some of these influencers can charge these prices, because they're selling stuff out, and quickly at that, you know. Even someone like James with the whole $500, he can sell out $500 tickets, okay? There's a reason why brands are going to him, and there's a reason why he can charge what it is that he's charging. Now, not every brand is going to be able to afford to pay you out stuff like that. And that's something that you also have to keep in mind when you are making these type of negotiations, because there's always a whole, you know, knowing your worth and charging what you should be charging. But sometimes I want to tell people, like, you also have to be, like, realistic. Nothing in this industry is so cut and dry where it's like, you do this, this is gonna happen, this is gonna do this, that's gonna happen. It doesn't work like that in this industry. You have to approach every situation for what that situation is. All right, if it's Maybelline, yeah, I'm gonna expect you to pay me what my rate is because you're Maybelline, okay? And I love how people, you know, have this whole, oh, capitalism, you know, these big major companies like Amazon and whatever don't pay the people who work for them, and they don't do this and they don't do that. But then we turn around and it's, oh, you know, you're trying to suck these companies dry. That $20,000 isn't killing them. Again, when you're bringing them back $2 million, that $20,000 isn't killing them. So it's like, which one is it? All right, do you want these brands to actually pay what it is they're supposed to be paying, or do you want to coddle the brands? And that's no shade to the brands. It's just something that doesn't make sense to me when I see it. But that's because it's Maybelline, all right? It's a multi-million-dollar company. Now, what's a small time? Now, if Prime Beauty reaches out to me. Do I expect that Prime Beauty is going to have the same budget that Maybelline is going to have? No, I do not. So, would I be open to hearing what they can afford? Yes, I would. And do I still work with brands who can't afford to pay me anything? And that's the thing with some brands that I need you to pay attention with there. Sometimes it'd just be easier if you didn't make an offer in general, because, you know, some of the ones that some of these brands put out there is low-key like offensive. They'll be like, we need 15 posts, we need, you know, you to be exclusive to us for 2 months, and we're just gonna pay you $50. Like, that is rude. That will probably get you blasted on someone's social media platform. But it's a balance between the brands and the influencers of knowing how to work with each other. Do I do things, even now to this day, do I do things for free for some brands? Yes, I do, because I might just like the brand. You know, I know, oh, you're an upcoming, you know, Black-owned business. You most likely don't have the budget, but I see your stuff and I see that you might have products that I actually want to show to my audience. Do you have to pay me for this? No, you don't. And when you do stuff like that for brands, when they get to a point where they can pay you, they'll come back to you, because you brought them an audience when they were just starting out and when they didn't have the money to pay you. And some brands are loyal to stuff like that. That has worked out for me with some of these brands, because I just knew that at the time they were not at a place where they could afford to pay me. But again, when these brands are coming to you and they're making these type of demands of, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, the way you're talking to me, sir, is the way someone talks when they've got the money to back this stuff up, okay? I've had brands that reached out and they were like, yeah, we need 15 posts. We need you to go here, which means I'm now using gas to get there, and we're gonna pay you $200. Excuse what? And I received that from some brands that I know have money to be paying their influencers. Okay, so that is that with brands there and how you negotiate. There are websites like Social Blue Book where they will give you an idea of, based on your followers and your engagement, how much you should be charging and stuff like that. But having your own rates is a start there, whether you use Social Blue Book or you use any of these charts that tell you, you know, for this amount of time that you take to create a post, you should be charging this much hourly, so your rate should be $500. Having your rate is the first thing, okay? After you have your rate, know when you might be able to up your rate a little bit there, and when you might have to decrease your rate or accept no rate at all. Sometimes when you're not taking any type of payment, it's not them walking all over you and them taking advantage. That's what I'm saying here. You need to know when you're making that difference between a brand that can do and a brand that cannot. And some of these brands, I'm gonna need you to know, if you can't do, then you can't do, okay? Just because PR is a way of, you know, getting this influencer marketing there doesn't mean right off the bat that you're ready to do it, okay? You should be doing it when you're at a point where you can send products out. That's the thing though. Yes, I can tell you that sometimes it's okay to negotiate either up or down with brands as far as, you know, sponsored content and paid promotion. But no, there's no reason that you should ever be paying for PR, because it's not PR at that point. That's not what it is. And I know there are gonna be brands that are like, well, I'm small, I can't afford to be sending out, you know, $500 worth of products every other month or every month. Okay, but then you don't do it then. There are other ways to advertise your business. There are other ways to promote your business. If you can't afford PR, then you don't have to do it right there at that moment. PR is literally a budgeted part of your business, or at least it should be. And if you're not at that point, then you don't do it then, because you're not. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Like, PR is the company sending you their product because they want you to promote it. Now, the whole sponsor post is they send you the product and then you have to post about it. That's when it becomes, you know, like paid sponsored-ish type promotions. But PR itself is just you sending it to the person, hoping they like it and hoping they'll post about it. So this whole, you know, like, here's this code for 30% off of your purchase, that's not a PR. They're just a customer, okay? That's that. And I'm gonna need brands to realize that. You won't always be ready from jump to be sending out PR, to be working with creators like that. So be aware of that. And for the brands who are upset that, you know, they're paying some of these prices to these people to promote their stuff and they're not getting the return, are you looking at yourself? Are you thinking about what you're doing here? Because some of you aren't. And you can see it too. You know, you're talking about not getting the return on your investment because you paid this person, you know, $5,000 to promote your stuff. Okay, but that person has 500,000 followers and they only get 50 likes. Like, you didn't notice that? See? That's what happens when you're a brand who just looks at follower number. It's like, oh, okay, you know, I see your face every now and then. You got a large follower number, so I'm going to assume that, you know, you're going to be a good return on my investment. No, you can easily look at someone's page and tell, do these people still care about this person's content? Are they still engaging with it? See how engagement always comes back to it, and having an audience that likes you always comes back into it. Are people engaging with this person's content? Did this person buy fake followers? Because that is also a thing. A lot of these follower numbers are not what they appear to be, but that's none of my business there. So that's just brands not paying attention to the investments that they make there. The brands that are paying attention and who are making the right investments are seeing a return on it. So that's also something to think about if you're a brand. I was gonna move on to networking, but one quick thing there. I got a question about managers and do I think you should have a manager? Yes, I do. I really do think you should have a manager. If you're wondering, yes, I do have a manager, and she has been my manager for 3 years. Has it been 3 years? Let's say 2.5, because I don't feel like it's been 3 years. But she's been my manager for a minute now. Life certainly got easier with her once, you know, I signed her on. She takes care of, you know, the back end, the contracts, the negotiating, stuff like that. Now this is a lot of trust that you're putting into someone, so you want to make sure that you are picking the right person to do this. And, you know, when you're signing on with these people, you want to pay attention to stuff like, you know, when the brands do pay out their sponsored content, who are they sending the money to? Are they sending the money directly to you and then you're responsible to pay the manager? Or is this a manager who's like, you know, the brand's gonna pay me and then I pay you that amount? Because then things can start getting, you know, a little sketchy there. But those are things that you want to pay attention to when you are signing on a manager. But I really do think it helps to have a manager. And y'all know, if you've seen the story time I did about the network there, I was very skeptical, but they're not the same thing. These channel networks like Style Hall and stuff like this, where they just sign a whole bunch of creators and then don't do anything but take a majority of your money, absolutely not. Stay away from those. I will leave that video in the description down below. But having a specific manager, someone who manages you, I would absolutely recommend. They make life a whole lot easier. And the last thing is networking. Now, I thought most of the questions would have been about, you know, making friends and collabing in the industry, but most of the networking, socializing questions that I got were about attending events. And I feel like some people have unrealistic ideas of events and what's going to happen, and I assume that's just because they don't attend a lot of events. But when you do frequent events and you see what some of these people are expecting when they walk into the room, you're just like, oh, you're about to be severely disappointed, because this ain't none of that, okay? I feel like they have this idea that, you know, they're gonna network and they're gonna put themselves out there to these brands and they're gonna come back with brand deals and they're gonna, you know, make sure that they're a lasting impression on the brands. And, you know, with creators, they're gonna make friends and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. My love, from the brand side of it, these brands are inviting you to these events because they want you to promote their stuff. Okay, that's why they have these great selfie walls and these great that's stuff that these brands think about when they're booking the places that they're going to have these events. You know, how's the lighting going to be? Are they going to be able to take good pictures? Should we have a flower wall? And, you know, what hashtags are we going to use and what imagery are we going to use? Because they want you there so that you can photograph that you were there, because, you know, name recognition, stuff like that. And they want you to take pictures of their stuff and take pictures showing how cool, you know, NYX is when they have these events and stuff like that, just because it promotes their brand, okay? The corporate employees that attend these events, their job is to, you know, flow around the room and have a little, you know, chit-chatty moment with everyone there. But most of the chit-chat moments are, you know, what do you think of the products? you know, do you like it? How are you feeling? You know, did you swatch it? Let me do this for that. It might be like maybe all of what, 2 minutes, and then they have to move on to the next person, because that's what they're there to do. They're there to, you know, get a feel from the people in the room of how they feel about the products. And that's also why, yes, some of these brands do fly people in for these events, but they're usually not just flying them in for the events. You know, they're somehow working with some of these influencers on, you know, sponsored content or campaigns or stuff like that, and then they invite them to the events as well. But for the most part, that is why they invite influencers who live 5, 10, 20 minutes away, because they just need bodies in the room to promote their stuff. The best way of, you know, getting your name out there and making sure that brands remember who you are is to have like lunch or stuff like that with the brands, to tour the brand's headquarters and stuff like that. Now you're like, okay, well, how am I supposed to do that, sis? I mean, if you already have connections, you know, if you're already on Morphe's PR list and you have a contact person, you could just ask them, you know, like, hey, could I ever, you know, tour Morphe's headquarters or stuff like that? Pretty little thing. If you follow them very often, they allow influencers to come and, you know, tour their headquarters. Fashion Nova does that. A lot of brands. That's how you create a stronger relationship with these brands, where they remember your face and they remember your name. Not by these events, because they're really just moving around trying to make sure that their product is the main focus of the night there. That's why, you know, that's not really the expectation for a brand there. And as far as the people, well, someone said, you know, how do you deal with going to events when you're very anxious and you're not, you know, that social of a person? I need y'all to realize a majority of people are not. Okay? If you're walking into a room extremely scared because, you know, you don't know anyone, you don't attend events like that, and, you know, you're not the most friendly, go up and start a conversation with everyone type of person, just know a majority of the people in the room are just like you and they feel exactly like you do. A lot of these influencers are socially awkward. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying, like, a lot of them are very to themselves, like they're not going to start a conversation, they're not going to do this. So if that helps you to know that you're walking into a room with people who most likely feel the same way that you do, I'm just putting it out there that a lot of them are like that. But a lot of them are like that. If they're not talking because they're, you know, they're not the most social person and they're not that comfortable with, you know, going up to people and starting conversations, that's one reason why the whole networking thing isn't really going to happen here. But another reason that the whole networking thing isn't going to happen there is because a lot of these people are assholes. A lot of these people are assholes, okay? The whole what you see on camera thing and then being a completely different person off camera, that's a real thing. It's kind of, you know, cliquey, high schoolish-ish, but there's that side, and then there's also the side that some people are just assholes. And when you go to these events, if you don't already know each other, you know, you already speak on social media or you message each other because you met on social media, or if it's not one of those instances where, you know, you're going up to them because you've seen them on social media, or they're coming up to you because they've seen you, so you can use that as kind of like an icebreaker to start conversation. If that's not happening, this whole, you know, meeting new people and creating all these new friends is not going to happen. People typically stick, and that's the reason why a lot of people don't go to these events if they don't know someone, or they're not allowed to bring someone else, because they know that that's not going to be the case where you're going to walk in, everyone's going to be all kumbaya and, you know, let's meet each other and let's become friends. Everyone typically sticks to their crew, you know, the people that they already know, and people are very selective with who they do want to get to know. And another reason is social climbing is a thing in this industry, okay? It's one of the reasons why I don't really like going to a lot of these events, because I cannot tell you how many times I've been at an event and someone will stick their phone in my face and, you know, tell me to type in my Instagram so they can follow me before they even ask what my name is. Just because I'm a body in the room, and they expect that if they follow me on Instagram, I'm going to follow them back. And that's what a lot of these people care about. They care about follower counts. They care about getting followers at these events. The whole friendship thing, miss me with that. Okay, a lot of you don't care about that. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of you do not. And you can argue till you're blue in the face with me. I'm not going to believe that that's what you care about when I've watched you walk to everyone in the room and, you know, get all of their Instagram names and follow all of them. And I've literally seen people do this, because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, you follow content that you like engaging with. And how can you do that if you followed 20 people in less than 5 minutes? So you had the chance to, you know, go through their pages and see if it's content that they like and stuff like that. But that is something that is very normal at these type of events. It's very normal for people to just shove phones in people's face and say, oh my God, what's your Instagram? I'm gonna follow you. And it's just like, you can keep it. You can keep it. Because I'm one of those people, it's like if I follow you, then I feel awkward unfollowing you if I don't like your content. So I'd rather just not have to deal with any of that by not being forced to follow you. But that's the type of pressure that these people will put on you when you're at these events, where you feel like you have to follow them back. And a lot of them will unfollow you once you're no longer at the event. And that's creators and that's brand employees who will do that. I have had a brand employee who asked me for my Instagram name, followed me on Instagram, and then unfollowed by the time I got home. By the time I got home, he had already unfollowed, okay? It's very weird, and it's a turnoff, and it's why a lot of people don't attend some of these events. Now again, nothing I say in this video should be taken so cutthroat that it's like, this is how it is and there are no exceptions. I'm just telling you what the vibe typically is and how a lot of people like to move. It's about, you know, being seen with the right people, who you can be seen with, who you know, what you can do for them. That's how a lot of people like to move. When I was in LA at that event, this girl sat next to me for a whole hour, and throughout that time, you know, it was a little like, you know, when you're like looking at someone trying to figure out like, you know, what's going on? Do I want to talk to you? Do I know you? Do I want to know you? Who do you know? Type of thing. But you don't actually make any type of, you know, conversation or anything like that, or really any eye contact. So that went on for like a whole hour, and then she saw me talking to someone who had like over 1 million followers. All of a sudden, sis wanted to introduce herself. Like, oh my God, hi, how are you? Blah, blah. Like, okay, but like the whole hour that we were sitting next to each other, you didn't feel like, it's just a weird way that a lot of them like to move. And I'm just saying it just because I don't want anyone, you know, getting their feelings hurt because they expected too much. A lot of these people are not looking for, you know, their new bestest friends, and it's just a way of protecting yourself, because, you know, you don't want to get into that flow of making friends who are just your social media friends. You know, you want friends that you can, and I do have some of these in this industry. I'm selective, you know, I'm very careful with who I call friends in this industry. But if you can only talk to each other about industry stuff, are you really friends? You know, if they can't call you because they're upset about something, or you can't message them because you saw something funny, are you really friends? Those are the type of friends you should be trying to make. I haven't really had that happen from attending an event, if we're gonna keep it a buck. But I do have that from, you know, interacting with people on social media, and genuinely interacting with people on social media. You know, not a sub for sub, not a, hey, let's support each other type thing, comments on each other's videos. No, it's from, you know, me always commenting on your stuff, or you always commenting on my stuff. And, you know, that's how I become friends with some of these people. And that's how I notice some of the people who were always commenting on my stuff. And then you follow each other back, and then you start DMing each other, and then you exchange numbers. And then, yes, you can make friends in this industry, but you have to do it genuinely. Just like you would genuinely make friends in real life, that's how you have to do it here on social media. But not a lot of people want to do that. They just want the appearance of that. So that is it for this video. I feel like it's about to be an hour long because I've been talking for over an hour. I'm gonna try to edit it down. But, you know, some of the stuff had to be said because I just need some of y'all to stop. Like, just stop, please, okay? And I say it out of love because I want you guys to grow and I want to see you guys succeed. So that is it there. I hope, you know, you take something away from this video. Let me know again if you want me to do more of these chatty type videos where we talk about different things. But yeah, so make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.